Police in Colorado Springs are looking into a shooting where two Fountain police officers shot a man and a dog. The officers responded to a domestic violence report around 6 on Saturday night. While they were investigating, police say the suspect's dog attacked an officer while the suspect assaulted both officers. Police say both officers fired their weapons at the man and the dog. The suspect was taken to the hospital. The dog died at the scene. One officer was taken to the hospital but is expected to be okay. The other officer didn't need treatment.
Gunfire shattered the peace of Cherry Creek State Park over the weekend. Deputies say two men started firing near the swim beach, and when police pursued them, ended up with their car in somebody's backyard. Those men are now in custody. Calls to 911 came in around 6 last night about two men firing guns at the swim beach there at Cherry Creek State Park. The sheriff's office says the suspects got in their car and then took off, so deputies chased after them. Deputies used their patrol cars to stop the suspects, and that's when their car crashed into a fence of a home on Quincy Avenue. Both suspects were taken into custody. It was a beautiful day. People were out on the water and could hear the gunfire. No one was hurt.
Witnesses set up the 10 to 20 shots being fired. So we don't know if they were shooting in the air or if they were shooting at somebody, but we have no reports of anybody being injured at the park.
Deputies right now don't know why shots were fired. One of the suspects was taken to the hospital for observation.
St. Anthony's Hospital is back to normal this morning after being on lockdown Sunday for several hours. Police say in Lakewood, this happened during a carjacking attempt. Police say it started in the parking lot at the Federal Center Light Rail Station yesterday afternoon. They say multiple people tried to steal a car in the parking lot and someone confronted them. The people fired a gun, then ran across the street into a parking garage at St. Anthony's Hospital. Police put the hospital on lockdown until they could take the suspects into custody. We've been in contact with Lakewood PD trying to find out how many people were arrested and who tried to stop them at the RTD lot, but police couldn't give us that information at this point. It was a busy weekend for Frontier Airlines. Police say yesterday a woman planning to get home to Florida hit a flight attendant with an intercom phone. Frontier says the plane was getting ready to leave DIA for Tampa around 4 a.m. when the woman started being disruptive. The airline says the flight crew told her to get off the phone, and while she was doing that, she hit the flight attendant. The flight attendant wasn't seriously hurt, and the plane took off about an hour and a half later. Denver police officers cited the woman for assault and then helped book her another flight home.
That wasn't the only problem at the airport. For the second time this week, the FAA says it didn't have enough air traffic controllers. It had to stop some flights into Denver. Same thing happened on Thursday evening. The FAA says everything was back to normal by 9 yesterday morning. New details are emerging about an 8-year-old girl who died in U.S. Border Patrol custody. Edith Alvarez became unresponsive on what was at least a third visit to medics on Wednesday at a Border Patrol station in Texas. The 8-year-old was a migrant from Panama who had heart problems. She is the second child from Latin America who has died while in U.S. custody in the last 2 weeks.
Right now, the NAACP is urging Black Americans to not travel to Florida. The group issued a formal travel advisory over the weekend. The president of Georgia's chapter says it's based on the state's alleged hostility towards minority groups, saying in part under the leadership of Governor DeSantis, the state of Florida has become hostile to Black Americans and in direct conflict with the democratic ideals that our union was founded upon. Doctors were able to save a baby by performing the first ever brain surgery from inside the womb. Derek and Kenyatta Coleman found out at their 30-week ultrasound that their baby had a rare and life-threatening abnormality. At 34 weeks pregnant, specialists at Boston Children's Hospital and Brigham and Women's Hospital performed brain surgery as part of a clinical trial, and it was successful. The baby was born shortly after and is now at home recovering.
Oh, love to hear that. Happy things went well. Well, as of this morning, the city of Denver has served more than 10,000 migrants. The majority of migrants that come to Denver don't want to stay. This is just an in-between for many. Some, like Jean, who we met last week, bought their own tickets here, but he's leaving Denver with the help from the city. Since December, Denver has bought 5,300 bus tickets. Gustavo made it here from Texas. Alone, separated from his wife and family, it wasn't until he borrowed someone's phone to learn they were in Dallas. He's holding on to the little that he has to buy another bus ticket back to the state where he left from. The city spent more than $360,000 on a little more than 1,000 bus tickets in just 1 week. The majority of tickets are going to Chicago and New York.
Of the thousands served, just over 1,200 migrants are in Denver City and partner shelters right now. 63 people arrived yesterday. Denver isn't getting as much money from the feds to help with the migrant crisis compared to other cities. The city and county of Denver and the state's Office of Emergency Management combined received $1.1 million. So far, more than 12,000 migrants have come to Denver since December. That's about $115 in federal aid for each arrival. Now compare that to New York. They're getting about $500 per arrival. Chicago and the Illinois Department of Human Services are getting more than $1,000 per arrival. We asked a Colorado FEMA spokesperson about the inequity. They forwarded our question to the FEMA headquarters in D.C. We haven't heard back.
Today, another spot in town will start accepting donations for migrants. The Potter's House of Denver Church on East Florida Avenue. The city's migrant support webpage has an email that you can reach out to if you would like to drop something off. The Denver Dream Center is also still accepting donations every Monday through Thursday from 9 to 3.
Well, I know it's only Monday, but everybody's working for the weekend, so let's check it out. Pretty nice one. 79 degrees, maybe a late day shower or thunderstorm for your Saturday, and look at Sunday. Pretty much more of the same.